Syria. Everybody's concerned about Syria. Again, every time Russia does something, every time they bring more troops, every time they establish yet another base, this time within a stone's throw from Turkish border, a NATO member, the official Washington is surprised. Surprised, surprised, surprised. What's the end game there in Syria?
Well, I think as with all the foreign policy adventures of this Kremlin regime, the origins are domestic and they're found inside. And once eastern Ukraine, the Donbass, became a quagmire for the regime, once Ukraine proved a too difficult target and the so-called Novorossiya project clearly failed, the Kremlin's propaganda machine needed new ammunition, a new fodder to revive rather the faded strongman image, to show another round of television pictures purporting to be a great power, to be sending troops halfway across the world in an instant, to be an equal on the world stage, if you will. And this is when Syria came in. And if you look at the Kremlin-controlled television channels in Russia, which is of course all the major television channels in Russia today, you will see that Syria has replaced Ukraine as the main subject. Whereas before they used to show all the time the Donbass and the fight against the so-called fascist and Banderovites in the Donbass, now they're showing Syria and the so-called fight against terrorism that Putin's Air Force is conducting in Syria. Now there's of course an additional very important reason, I think, that the Kremlin is doing this. The informal club of dictators is a pretty loyal one. And Mr. Putin doesn't like to see a fellow despot fall from power. He's already seen too many in his time, from Gaddafi to Yanukovych. And I think an additional goal in this is to help preserve Bashar al-Assad in power in Syria. And of course it's evident now to everybody that the chief targets of the Russian Air Force in Syria are not in fact ISIS strongholds, but are the anti-Assad opposition forces.